love it when it rains. We never got this in the UAE.
Hello and welcome back. So, you see my little buddy right here, Joey? So why are we spending so much time with our goslings and why are we pretending to be gosling mommy? So there's this thing called imprinting that birds do, and goslings and ducklings are really big with this, meaning once they hatch, they basically latch onto the first person or animal that takes care of them. So we want them to be friendly birds. We want them to be protective, but we also want them to be friendly. Let me sit him down so that he can walk. Here you go, buddy. So, yes, we want them to be friendly. We want them to be big. We want them to know us as their caretakers. And they do a really good job, meaning they follow us around, they know us, they know our voice. When I go to the brooder and I say hi, he's the first one that perks up. Max is getting a little bit too big for the brooder. He's not feathered out yet, so we can't quite move him out with the big birds yet, but he's getting there. So for right now, little fella, down there, where you at? He's just following me around, which is great. I love it. I love it. I love little babies. So I thought today, besides the little gosling update and the bird update, I'll show you around the garden a little bit because a lot has happened and we are excited about what's happening. So I'll show you what we've got going on. We actually have some vegetables growing, and what else we have? We have fruit trees now, which we really love, and hopefully they will establish well and produce some fruit for us in the next few years. I'll show you around a little bit. And the big thing that's really going on for us is grass. Grass is growing. Because the plan is going to be, or is, to establish a pasture for eventually cows and sheep, but it's going to take a while. It's working out okay. We put some seed down, but it was super dry the last couple of weeks, so we haven't really had a chance to see it come up. We've had rain for the last 2 days. Won't be able to tell today, but we've had some rain, so we're seeing some results, which is, well, it's exciting for us. So I'll show you around and show you the garden a little bit. Do you see how green it's getting in here? We had this cleared about, what, six weeks ago, and we started cleaning up in here and started putting down some seed. Unfortunately, it's been extremely dry and the lot is too big for us to water it. So we were waiting for rain and we finally got some. So just look at this. Look at how green it's getting. There's grass. This is brown top millet that we bought locally. It's a quick ground cover and it helps with preventing erosion. We're planning on putting bahia, however you say it, grass down because it's self-seeding, so it will come back every year and start thickening up and expanding. So we're super excited about it, but check out how green this is. How awesome is this? We're pretty excited. And there's the piggies running. So all the way in the back of the lot, there is a pear tree. And there goes the squirrels. That pear tree was here when we bought the property, but who knew? Because it was hidden in all of the thick of this Florida jungle right here. This is how thick everything used to be until we started thinning it out. But check it out. It's pretty darn big, even though it's been choked out quite a bit by, well, other trees, vines, etc. But we got fruit.
Why we're bonding with the turkeys is because they're gonna be big birds and we want them to be nice. I've got Tony right here. Or who do you have? I have got lady. We have no idea if they're gonna be boys or girls.
So we'll adjust the names later. Maxie.
Hi, come here, boy. Hey, come here. Y'all are so cute. So we have some beans planted right here and we made a little archway. The plan for the garden is, it doesn't look like much right now. We are going to build a fence because we're getting goats and we're gonna want to keep them out of the garden, along with the chicken. So we're going to build a permanent fence and build a couple more raised beds in there. And then the garden is going to extend from, you see that, there we go, from that corner right there to the back where it's at now, and then all the way where that fire pit is at, because that's going to be some good fertile dirt. So we're going to till all that and get it ready for the next growing season. But for now, this is what we have. So we have beans that are doing really good and going to be growing up the trellis. We have carrots, which are doing better than expected. We don't expect a lot of yield out of them, but they're doing okay. We have tomatoes, we have cucumbers, we have peppers, we have sunflowers, you see those? We have some zucchini, and we have some spaghetti squash, and we have some greens. So we have quite a bit growing, and it's doing better than expected. We didn't expect much out of it. Behind me is cucumbers, and we started them from seeds. So seeing them growing as they are is refreshing because we didn't know how they were going to turn out. So they're doing really well. We built a little trellis system out of bamboo sticks, completely inexpensive. These sticks are basically free. You can get them at any big box store like Home Depot, Lowe's. You can get them at the Dollar Tree, or if you have any local bamboo farms, you can usually get sticks for free there as well, just from shoots that they're getting rid of. You don't need to use these bamboo sticks. We use them because they're inexpensive and they're super versatile, so we can use them again for something else. They're just basically bound together, you see that, with some leveling string that we had left over. I don't have any specific tools for the garden. I use what I have. So it's not the prettiest, but it works really well. The cucumbers are doing really well on that system. Over here, you see that? You have the tomatoes, and I have not trellised them yet. I am planning on doing that, and I will show you what we're doing with that. I'm planning on doing what it's called, a Florida weave. Super simple, so I'll show you when I do that. I'm planning on getting to that next week. It doesn't quite need that much support just yet, but we're getting there. So as soon as those plants really start carrying fruit, they need support. So we're gonna be working on that, and I'll show you how we do that. For now, the tomatoes and the cucumbers and really everything that's growing in here is getting checked on every day. We pruned everything quite a bit this week. So why pruning, you ask? Because the more leaves you have on your plant, the more suckers you have, and the more those leaves and those suckers take away nutrients from the actual fruit. We want the nutrients to go to the fruit, and so we prune them back a lot. I'll show you the tomatoes. They look like, they look a little sad, but they are starting to really come in with the fruit and with the flowers. So I'm excited to see that, and I will keep you posted on how they do. Do you see the tomatoes right here? So all the way from the bottom up, all of this has been cut off. We did it this week. And as you can see, we now We have a lot of blooms and we even have some fruit showing up. They grow really bushy. There is a lot of green leaves on it. If you trim these off, then your plants will have a better chance of getting those nutrients that are in the soil or that you're feeding them with fertilizer into the fruit and into blooming. So hopefully we'll have a plentiful harvest, because I'm really looking forward to making my pasta sauce in salsa, etc. So this thing is not quite ready to be harvested, but we're almost there. There is a bunch more growing on here, so I'm excited. But we are going to cut back these plants quite a bit. So these are jalapenos and banana peppers. They are doing really well. My sweet peppers, or well, I have one plant left. The rest was eaten up by bugs. So hopefully this plant will survive. I just sprayed everything with neem oil, trying to stay as organic as possible, and producing some fruit right here. You see this? All these holes right here? We had some bugs snacking. Again, I used neem oil and it came right back. They had eaten the fresh leaves when I first planted that kale and the chard. They ate them down all the way to the root, and they have come back really, really nicely. You see us had little corn garden. So we only planted like 3 rows of corn because we wanted to try it out, and eventually, well, next growing season, really, we want to grow more as a feeder product for the animals. Can you see how sad this looks? Look, the chickens got into it. So this morning we put up some temporary fencing around it. It's just to keep the chickens out and see how big we can grow the corn. Next growing season we are wanting to actually plant a full field. So you see the goat pen? So we're going to be planting a lot more. We'll find a good spot for it. And for now, we're just gonna let this go, keep the chickens out, and grow it as big as possible. Ooh, it is bright out here. Well, I showed you around a little bit. Thank you for following us. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit. I will leave you some links below in regards to what we use in our gardening adventure so that you can find the products easily. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you use. I would love to hear from you with your tips on what you do to have a good, bountiful harvest. So would love to hear from you and learn from you as well. Looking forward to that. Please get in touch. Let us know what you think. Follow us, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because without it, you won't know about the new videos. So we'll see you in the next one.